Well, hey there folks, welcome back once again to the Hop House. It's Eddie here. Time for another beer review. It's another virgin beer review as well, and it's another beer that I picked up from Lidl, from the Craft Beer Festivals. Now, if you're brand new to this channel, welcome along to the Hop House. Call back because we like hoppy beer, we like house music. If you like either of those or both, then give us one of those. Give us a like, share, subscribe to this channel if it's your cup of tea. Okay, this, I think it was actually from the last beer festival back in August. Now, I didn't make it to Lidl then. But if you have a look at my beer haul video that I did last week, I did pick up some beers from Lidl, and then a couple of days earlier I went to a different Lidl and they had some of the previous beers in, so I picked up a couple of those. So this next one, I'll show you what I'm going to review. I'm going to AS. Sorry for the accent. It's Barry Island IPA. It's brewed by Brains Brewery. Barry Island IPA, it's coming in at 5%. 5% ABV in a 330 milliliter can. Now I was really did want to review this. Reason being is Brains, I believe, are now part of Marston's, or the Carlsberg Marston's Brewing Company. I'd heard Brains had shut down their brewery in Cardiff. It wouldn't surprise me. I know that since Carlsberg have sort of amalgamised with Marston's, they've shut a couple of their sites down. Witchwood Brewery in Oxfordshire is gone, which is such a sad shame. Hobgoblin is now brewed at either Burton-on-Trent or Wolverhampton at the Banks Brewery. And the Jennings Brewery in the Lake District at Cockermouth, that's gone as well. Cumberland Ale, I don't even know where that's brewed anymore. You know, Cockerhoop, what was the other one, the black one? I had a picture of a castle on it. Sneplifter. I think there's only Cumberland Ale that survived. So they're doing what big companies do, and I guess in a climate where, you know, cost of living, the cost of gas, electricity, plus probably the cost of malt and hops and yeast and everything is doubled or even more. So I understand it. It's shit, isn't it? You know, for the people that like the beer, for the people that work in the breweries and are losing their jobs, it's shit. It's terrible, but it's just a sign of the times, and probably a good business decision if you've got your business head on. Anyway, okay, back to this beer then. One of the reasons I wanted to review it is not because of all that fodder. It's because another channel that I subscribe to, another beer reviewer, Real Ale Craft Beer, he's been doing it for 12 years. So he's a lot more experienced than me. He's been doing it for years and years. But he does state on his channel, probably about 8 years or so now, 8 years ago, that he brewed this with Brains. Brains Brewery were a very traditional brewery. They did things like the Rev James, Brains SA, Brains SA Gold, very traditional cask ale brewery, British hopped bitters and pale ales and amber ales, and so he brewed this with them to sort of get him in touch with the 21st century craft beer revolution, and then 8 years later it's in Lidl. Let's get it out into the glass. The closest thing I've got to Barry Island is my Tenby Brewing Company glass, so it's got a bit of a watermark on it. It's Wales and it's South Wales. I know they call it West Wales, but it's still the south coast of Wales to me. It'll fit the whole can in as well, because it's a 2/3 glass, so it'll fit a 330 milliliter can in. Now then, that's sort of, believe it or not, how I expected it to look. Considering that, I mean, I don't even know if this is still the original recipe from the Real Ale Craft Beer guy. I've noticed he hasn't reviewed this from Lidl. Not that I've seen in his videos anyway. Maybe he's tried it off camera and thought, what have you done to it? What have you done? I'm not reviewing that. Who knows? Who knows? I just think it's quite interesting. And it's quite funny that he's not actually reviewed it, because he rattled on about how he brewed this. It's quite clear and see-through. I think the haze might be chilled. No, there's a tiny bit of haze to it actually. It's not fully clear. The clarity's not 100%, and it's not. There's a tiny bit of chilled haze, but even after that, there is a bit of haze to it. It's golden border on amber colour, white head on it, bit of laser vision. How it jigs around in the glass. Can we do that at this time? In time, we can a little bit. There you go. Yeah, it's lacing in the glass okay. It's a fluffy white head on it. Right, let's get some aroma then. Let's put that into there. I'm going to give it a whiff. See what we can sniff. Sweeter. Smells a lot sweeter. Sweet malt. Sugary sweet malt. Maybe a little bit of lime, lemon lime. But it's mainly sweet malt I'm getting from it. Is this really a craft beer? Or is it just a big brewery beer with a craft can name on it that they've whacked out into a supermarket? Doesn't smell horrible, but it smells very sweet. I think this recipe's been changed, personally. I don't know, but it's a hunch. Right, bottoms up, down the hatch, let's try it. Cheers. Now I get it, it was brewed to a cost, to a price. But it's brewed, although it says craft beer, I think it's brewed in big batches by a big brewery. It's not hoppy. It's not. It tastes like a normal sort of, I don't know, traditional pale ale, best bittery type jobber. It's just not very hoppy. There's some sweetness there, it goes down the middle of the tongue, down the sides of the tongue. You're getting like a bit of a peppery bitterness. It's probably more like British hops. It's really quite smelly, sweet wise. Bit of laser vision. I'll do the proper laser vision now and then I'll wrap it up because I'm bored of this beer already. Right, so I just did, the first one I did was the Galway Hooker, that was dreadful. Then I did that, Quantic, wild beer, give it a thumbs up. It was decent, give it a thumbs up, I liked it. There's much more flavour in that Quantic than there is in this. And this has got a higher ABV, not that that makes a difference, but... There's just not much going on in it. An American style IPA, really? Fresh hoppy tidy. Fresh hoppy tidy. Okay, so, inspired by the American IPA revolution, but firmly noted on the sun-kissed beaches of South Wales, sun-kissed, Brain's Barry Island IPA is brewed with a trio of hops from the US to deliver a beer bursting with citrus aromas. Unique, smooth malt taste is followed by a vigorous bitter finish and a tidy cloud of citrus and berry hop flavours. Brewed by SA Brain & Co Limited, Dragon Brewery, Cardiff. Best before on it, June next year. Water, barley, malt and hops are your ingredients. www.sabrain.com. Maybe they had a bit of a rebrand with the Brains Brewery, I don't know. I know, I'll give Simon from Real Ale Craft Beer the benefit of the doubt and say that he didn't brew that. I don't think that's his recipe. But saying that, even 8 years ago, even if you brewed it 8 years ago, right, even if you did it 8 years ago, you're looking at beers that have been around for ages, like Jaipur, Oakham Citra, all these beers. Life and Death by Vocation has been around, was it 7 years? I think I put something in the video like it was a 10-year anniversary of it or something. I think it's only 7. But you know, even beers like Jaipur, having it in a can now, it's not what it is. If you get it on cask, it's tremendous. It's changed, but it's still pretty decent in a can. This isn't decent. It's average at best. I'll tell you what's better than this. I reviewed, in my budget beers, it used to be, and apparently it's brewed at Brains as well, rumour has it. It was a blooming pound can with the ghosts on it, and then they've rebranded it under, is it Lock 10 or 10 Lock Brewery? Pale ale in a blue can for 99p. That's 4.8%. So this is 5. So that's 4.8%, so it's 0.2% less ABV. But it's got more flavour to it. It is a bit sweet, but then it's got a hoppiness. It's got some flavour, it's got a bit of bitterness and sweetness and pininess. And it's, you know, for 99p it's a decent beer. This was, I think when it came out in August in the beer drop, it was £1.49. This in the big Lidl in Telford, it was £1.29, so it was reduced 20p to try and sell it off. I can understand why. It's average at best. It's not terrible. I'm not going to give it a thumbs down, so I'm not going to pour it down the sink. But would I buy it again? I mean, I've got another can of it. No. So I'm going to give it a thumb in the middle. So, thumbs down means, well, get it away from me. Thumbs up means I'd buy it again. Thumb and a half is, yeah, that's good. 2 thumbs up is, my God, where do I buy it again? And if I start flinging feet in the air, it's like, oh my God, that is amazing. That is super smashing. Super smashing great. Look at what you could have won. Tell you what you could have won. You could have won a decent beer for a decent price. But this is, for those that are struggling, you know, those that yeah, and there's times when I've been without a job, you know, and things like that. I mean, luckily, I'm in an okay place now. Finance-wise, well, we'll see in my next couple of electricity bills, actually. I'll come back to you. But if you are on a budget, don't buy this. Go to Aldi and buy that little blue pale ale I said. Because you know what? It's 50p cheaper at the full price, so 20p if you look at that. And it's a better beer. The 10 Lock Brewing Lock 10 or 10 Lock it's called. It's in the 330ml can, blue can pale ale. Have a look at the review. It's 99p, it's a better beer. Go to Aldi, get it. And then knock off Punk IPA ain't bad either. Whatever it's called. Revolution will not be televised beer, I forgot what it's called now. Anti-establishment IPA, that's the one. Go get that, it's a rip-off of Punk. It's okay, it's not bad. Right, thank you very much for watching. Thumb in the middle, it's yeah. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you again for some more beer reviews right here on the Hop House. Ciao for now, people.